Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door.
"'Tis some visitor, tapping at my chamber door. Only this, and nothing more."
Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember wrought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly I had sought to borrow from my books of surcease of sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore.
"'Tis some visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. Some late visitor, entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more."
Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer.
"Sir, or madam, truly your forgiveness I implore. But the fact is I was napping, and so faintly you came tapping at my chamber door."
Here I opened wide the door, darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the darkness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word,
"Lenore!"
This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word,
"Lenore!"
Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning. Soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before.
Surely, there's something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is." "'Tis the wind, and nothing more."
Open here I flung the shutter, when, with many a flut and flutter, then there stepped the stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisant made he, and not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with the mien and lord a lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon a bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird becoming my sad face into smiling.
"Surely thy crest be shorn and shaven, art sure no craven, ghastly grim and ancient raven, wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore."
Much I marveled this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. So we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was so blessed with seeing the bird above his chamber door, bird or beast above the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven, sitting lonely on the placid bust, spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered,
"Other friends have flown before, on the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before."
Then the bird said, Nevermore! Startled at the stillness broken by a reply so aptly spoken.
"Doubtless, what it utters is only stock in store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his song one burden bore, till the desires of his hope and melancholy burden bore of nevermore."
But the raven still beguiling all my sad soul into smiling, straight I wheeled and cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt, and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking, Nevermore! this I sat engaging and guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bossom's core. This and more I sat divining with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lightings with the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from an unseen censer swung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted door.
Wretch, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he has sent thee, respite and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff, this kind nepenthe, and forgot this lost Lenore.
Quoth the raven.
Prophet, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore.
Quoth the raven.
Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken, quiet and blessed, next to my chamber window. Take thy beak from our heart, and take thy form from off my window.
Quoth the raven. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, and his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming in the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor, and my soul from out of that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore.